The following is a presentation of iRacing on PTRTV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast. The TNR Master Millwright Big Block Series has spanned about 3 months here, and we've seen some great racing. A lot of changing storylines, and a lot of different people taking part at the top of the podium here as the season comes to a close. Tonight we find ourselves at the relatively newly released I-55 Speedway, presented by Federated Auto Parts for tonight's race number 12. Welcome everyone to PTRTV, where tonight we do present the TNR Master Millwright Big Block Series, again here at I-55, and it'll be myself, Corey Silva, in the booth and behind the production truck, giving you all the action here this evening. Just in time for hot laps here as we set our starting lineup here for tonight's race. Of course, having our heat sessions, 10 laps apiece, and our traditional 35 lap feature. We'll see what happens here. I don't have the updated point standings here, at least as of the time of this broadcast. I'll give it a quick refresh. And magic has just happened, because in the time that I had it 20 minutes ago, I have the updated point standings. So we'll get a taste of where that stands. Of course, Brian Rubel getting his first win on the season last week at Williams Grove. Prior to that, Fairbury gave Zach Weisenflew his much-deserved first win of the season. Currently, Scott Rayom top of the board with Dean Reynolds in second. Still a big heavy hitter, Brady Cornett. Finally got rid of the rusty ride here. He is on track, and this is going to be his hot lap. Let's see what it is at the stripe. He has been struggling in qualifying lately, but tonight, certainly that trend does not continue here, as a 12.66 has about a half-tenth over Rayom there. And I don't see anybody else on track that still has times to run. So actually looks like Mike Brewer here. He is going to call shotgun here and run the last qualifying time. We'll see what he can do. Of course, he has been in victory circle here this season. Weisenflew, going back to the point standings, Weisenflew back 21 on Cornett, with Kyle Rochinski 47 back at third, Trapper 51 back in fourth, and Mike Brewer 54 back in fifth spot. Let's see what Brewer does. Brewer goes top of the board by 2/1000ths of a second over Brady Cornett. So again, the competition hot and heavy. Of course, Brewer with the win at Kokomo at the quarter mile. Of course, we are at the 1/3 mile Federated Auto Parts Speedway, so a little bit bigger. We do have the higher banking here, so it should be an interesting progression. We have seen the past few weeks where the groove has changed quite radically mid-race, and it has brought in some very interesting racing. Last week at Williams Grove, Rubel getting the win in very chaotic fashion, but at Fairbury, Weisenflew managed to win that race by digging the bottom and getting Bobby Trapper, who was committed to the top. So a lot of the times on iRacing, the tracks are kind of top groove heavy, but on certain combinations, you can make that inside lane work. So we'll see what happens here tonight at I-55, and a relatively new track on iRacing being released in the March build. So about 2 or so builds these guys have under their belts here with this racetrack in place. 72 degrees in the air, 63-degree track temp, with a little bit of wind here to play with, humidity just as you would expect. Race number 12 out of a 14 race schedule. So next week, December 6th, we will head to Lernersville And then we will conclude on December 13th at Charlotte for a longer race, the final race of the season. Going to be one of those 50-lap features as we had at the beginning and middle of the season. So we'll see what happens pertaining to the points, whether I think it's going to take a bad run from Cornette, which he has had a couple mid-season. You know, he dominated the mid-season, but towards the late portion of the season hasn't been in that same victorious form. Hasn't actually won a race since October 25th, so quite a while, but we'll see what happens with him as we are headed down trackside. And let's go ahead and give you the starting lineup for heat race number 1. Believe we'll have 2 heats here this evening. Eric Bonham in the 484 going to be P1 here with last week's winner Brian Rubel in that second position. Bobby Puckett in third, league admin Jason Freeman in fourth. Travis Brockner, Scott Rayom, and Mike Brewer again with the reverse starting lineup for the heats. That'll be the 7 cars again for 10 laps. This track here at I-55 kind of has some similarities to Eldora, at least in terms of the banking and the wall configuration here. Of course, just a much shorter version of it, being only a third of a mile versus the half mile at Eldora, but they do race relatively similar. Track was cleaned off between the heats and the practice session, so the track was worked back in, watered back up. So we'll see what line prevails. I expect the bottom line to prevail, but towards the middle end of the feature, I think we'll be riding the fence here. We'll see how that does play off. But Bonham has control of the field. The infield pits here at I-55. Pace truck pulls into the left, and then, oh no, contact off the get-go. Rubel up in the air. Bonham up and at it here, and then Bonham is going to go around hard into the fence here. What a chaotic start. And so far, there's the caution flag. That was hectic from the get-go there. Let's go back on replay. We'll have to take an aerial view of that. Again, the 484, the control vehicle there. You can see they were right on each other. Little contact from Puckett. Looks like Rubel may have came down just a little bit. They got stuck on each other. And then just kind of the 4 contact with the Rayom sent Bonham around. So the pole sitter, definitely not how you want to start these things off. We'll see how the scoring does play out. Looks like Bobby Puckett has been given the lead through the way scoring has taken that. Oh, actually, well, let's see what's going on. We are, 1 to go, so pace truck. I mean, we kind of flip-flop which one we're driving with each week, but we do have the pace truck this week, and Puckett in command of the race with Brockner in second, so complete shake-up there. Rubel back to 6th. Bonham a lap down in 7th, but green flag in the air for the heat. All the way digging on the bottom is Puckett, but look at that run on the outside from Brockner. He's going to have a head of steam with Brewer. Looking to the bottom, we're going to be 3 abreast of a corner number 4 here, halfway in the heat already. Back down to the bottom, still 3 wide. All the way to the top of the track is Bonham in the loose stuff. That middle by Puckett seems to have the momentum at the moment. Brewer still trying to make something happen on the bottom. The super high lane right now that Brockner is in doesn't seem to be working favorably, but he's still trying to make it work. He got a good run off a 2 there. Thought he was going to do a crossover. Brewer kind of shut the door, but now he's going to go to the bottom of the track. Rayom just behind him. Freeman back there battling with Rubel. Back there is Bonham, and Freeman up against the fence doing the Tony Hawk wall ride. I think we kind of caught some of that live. But that's going to put him back to the 6th spot back there with Bonham. Bonham, of course, off the lead lap, so not a good heat race for Freeman. Might be a little rusty from missing last week's race. But Puckett, he's going to have a hard battle to hold off here coming to the white flag lap. A little bit of contact there from Brewer. They're going to be side by side off a 2. Brewer is not going to have a good surge there off the corner. Looks like Puckett's going to use the momentum from the middle, and he's going to win the heat. Brewer second and Brockner in third there. great racing here at P3. A little bit of contact there, I'm assuming, all in good hands there. But let's go ahead and get you situated for heat race number 2. Starting lineup to the left of your screen on the ticker. Carter Rochinski going to be first, with Jeff Kendrick on the outside of row number 2. Duante Carter in third. Bobby Trapper in fourth. Kyle Rochinski in fifth. Dean Reynolds, if I could speak, sixth. And of course, Brady Cornett in seventh. Now we'll see if Carter does choose to take the lead for this. There are many occasions where he does back off, knowing that he's not typically one to run with the leaders, and I think he is gonna I can't really tell what he's doing, to be honest with you. If he's gonna relinquish the pole, as he sometimes does. Yes, he is. He's gonna relinquish the lead, probably ask for an EOL, I would imagine. End of line penalty. So that will give Duante Carter, I believe, the pole, or they may give Kendrick the iRacing. By default, it's going to give the 17 command of the race, but the league may give it to Kendrick. I'm not quite sure, but we'll go with the default and say that Duante Carner, excuse me. Yep. Oh, he certainly is in command of this, but he goes very early there, and Kendrick was not ready at all. And in fact, he is going to go over with the assistance of Brady Cornett there, still under green, and is no longer. Caution flag has come about, and we will get to encounter that, again, second chaotic restart of the, initial start of the race. Let's go back, and we're on replay. We'll see what happened from the blimp cam here. See, very early in the zone, 62 got squirrely there, but it was... that had nothing to do with it. There was just kind of residual contact between the 62 and 69, and then when Cornett got there, just didn't really have an evadance maneuver possible. And Kendrick did have to tow. I do think we have... trying to figure out what's going on here, but I do think there may be a change in the configuration of the server. I do think laps are counting today, which will mean this session will end instantaneously. Typically we race with do not count cautions, but it does seem like these caution laps are counting, so we'll see if that does play, if it's a glitch, happens, whatever. But either way, green flag back in the air. 17 of Carner is going to get a little bit of tag there from the 79 of Reynolds. That's going to cause a little bit of a Waffle House stack-up jam there off of 2, and that will throw out another caution. Rochinski of the Carter variety having some issues there, but again, replay on screen. I'll get a better look at it if I can. Go back to the chopper cam. I think that's going to be our best friend this evening. Oh, yeah, 79 hard into the 17 there, and that just caused everybody to wad up. Cornett, you could see, have his issues. Because once you can't change direction in a dirt car, so once you see that wreck happening in front of you, you can't really go anywhere with it. You're kind of stuck. All you can do is sort of slow down, and when you try to do that, it just ends up kicking you sideways. So that definitely hurt these guys, and we can definitely confirm here by looking at the ticker that caution laps are counting. So whether that's intended or not, it is the actuality of our situation here. So this heat not going to consist of many laps, and we'll see how that does carry over into our feature event here. But green flag in the air, racing the pace truck off here, coming to 2 to go. Kyle Rochinski has benefited with the lead through circumstance here, but Bobby Trapper in second. I think I see somebody back there rather slow. Hopefully it does not throw out a caution here, but coming to 1 lap to go in heat number 2 here. Big send there into 1 by Trapper, but he does get the momentum on exit. I don't think he'll be able to go anywhere with it. He's going to send it on the top of the track and pray for a run, but he's going to have to try to hold off Reynolds there. Kyle Rochinski with no contest will take heat number 2 with Trapper and Reynolds. Cornett with the 4th. Remember, we do have our inverts. Of course, you know, some drivers love them, some drivers hate them, but our invert, that will take us into our feature event, which is now on our hands. So let's go ahead and give you the running order for the feature event here tonight. 35 laps around Federated Auto Parts at I-55. Jeff Kendrick's going to lead this one off from the pole position with Eric Bonham in second, Carter Rochinski in third. Jason Freeman goes from wall riding to a P4. Duante Carner in fifth. Brian Rubel, last week's winner, in sixth. Brady Cornett in seventh. Scott Rayome in eighth. Then we have Dean Reynolds and Travis Brockner rounding out our top 10, and rounding out our 14-car grid, Bobby Trapper at 11th, Mike Brewer in 12th, Kyle Rochinski in 13th, and Bobby Puckett in 14th. So the biggest name of the game that we've seen thus far is the initial start has been very problematic for these guys. I think with the banking off of 4 and the quick transition to the line, definitely has caused these guys to kind of get really wadded up here on the initial starts. And of course, we've had a lot of cautions in our past races here. And if the trend of caution laps counting in this race is a testament, then these guys are going to have not a lot of laps to make their move. So hopefully we keep this green and see some solid racing. So welcome everyone to PTRTV. We got a good crowd here. We see some active chat. Great to see. Like and subscribe if you have not done so, because we're wrapping up a season here. We want to have some good racing in front of us. So here we come for the A main here tonight for the TNR Master Millwright Big Block Series. Coming off 4, green in the air. Good run from Bonham on the outside. He's going to use that banking to the outside groove, and he's going to take the lead handily there over the 62 of Jeff Kendrick. And look at Freeman up there to the top of the track. He's going to get around the 62. Little bit of a stack up there back in the pack as Cornett getting himself through some smoke. A lot of action there. Carner dead sideways here. All grooves in play here at I-55. Some great stuff going on there. Outside, Bobby Trapper trying to work his way through. Battle for the lead up front. Freeman digging on the bottom here. Still some grip to the bottom. Still some moisture on the bottom. And then here comes the 20 to take the lead. Contact between Rubel and Bonham there. Rubel's going to keep it stacked up. He's going to keep it under control, but he's going to go all the way back. And oh no, Carner and Brewer, big contact there off of 4. Brewer on his side, Carner on his roof, and Rubel's trying to play the bulldozer here. Freeman and the field's going to have to, they're going to play flipperoo there right in front of the field. Let's see if we can catch a quick replay of that without taking too much time, because these caution laps do go by very quickly. 17 got loose. Oh, that was a hard hit there by Rubel. You can see Rubel there just tries to play the bulldozer and get everyone right, but that 17 just got really loose off of 4, which really set everybody else in a position where they just could not really do anything with it. But all the meanwhile, we saw Freeman take the lead there. I mean, Bonham was using the top to his advantage on the first few laps, but there's still enough moisture on the bottom that I think that's where you want to be for the moment. See here, we're on 1 lap to go, and I'm trying to just take a look here. We'll take a look and see if our laps have counted or not. They may have, they may not have. It's kind of hard to tell. They were counting in the heats. We'll see if they count here in the feature, but either way, let's get it back going. The Mason-Dixon ride of Freeman's going to get back on that loud pedal. Green flag back in the air. Bonham all the way to the top. But look who he has on his rear Nerf bar. That's going to be Brady Cornett's got himself through the jungle. He's going to look to the top of the track. Freeman rocking the bottom of the speedway here, but Cornett, he's rocking the top of the track, and that seems to be where the momentum is. A good run by Freeman to the bottom of the track, but Cornett is going to be in the good stuff up there, but he got a little bit sideways. Now Rayome, he's in the mix here. 3-way battle for the lead. All the way to the top, rocking the complete wall line is Cornett, as we have some good racing going on back here, but Freeman hanging on by a thread for the lead, but he can't clear and get up to the top. Cornett has it, and Cornett eventually is going to get that momentum. There's just too much up on the top of the track. But we're going to interrupted by the caution flag. Eric Bonham has had issue as he has taken it to the pit. So let's see what happened to him. Contact there with Kyle Rochinski. And what else happened? I don't know if he had some issues there with suspension or something, but ended up just kind of looping it on the straightaway there. And I do appreciate you guys in chat lighting it up. That's what I want to see. And it looks like we are we get some Puckett fans, I believe. Well, there's two Bobbies in here. It's either Puckett or Trapper. So I think it's Puckett. So for you Puckett fans, let's see, where is he right now? He is about 8th right now. So he's going to have a ways to go. But let's see what Freeman can do if he can clear Cornette and get to the top of the track, because it looks like the top's where the juice is right now. Green flag back in the air. Cornette, great start there. Freeman's going to have to dig the bottom. Let's see if he can clear him off of 2. I don't think he's going to be able to. Rayon's going to use the top of the track as well. Looks like Cornette has cleared for the lead at the moment, and we are back under caution. I am trying to see what... trying to find out where that came from. We'll take a quick glance here at replay, though nothing. Oh, there it is. Get that queued up for you guys. Looks like it was around the 21, made some contact there with, I believe, yep, Duante Carner there. Sent him around Rubel there, just kind of residual contact, and Carter Rochinski at the top, just nowhere to go, but we saw where that stemmed from. Just some more contact, and there is only one Bobby, and that's the number 41. So Puckett, you got some work to do here. You got a bunch of people wanting you to pull something off here, but you're gonna have some work to do, and we'll see what you're capable of. Of course, Master Millwright on that car, and of course they are our race sponsor here this evening as well. Green flag back in the air. Freeman got the lead by the draw of when the caution flag flew, so he's going to be back on that inside lane. Contact between him and Cornette there. I'm trying to figure out who that hurt more. Still door-to-door here, entering turn number 1. He's in the slick, and Cornette is in the moist stuff on the top of the track, so he's going to have the upper hand here. Bobby Trapper, where did Trapper come from? Sorry, chat, the wrong Bobby here is up to play. He's going to dig it to the bottom and clear Freeman on the bottom with the power move there. That's going to put him in position to instantly go for the race lead here. Cornette's going to have to go lower down the track and block the move. Now he's going to go right to the top and block the move. So now, all lines in play here. Rayon going for 3rd here on Freeman here, as Trapper trying to figure out a place to go. Bobby Puckett back there in that 8th spot, currently battling with Brockner and Freeman, rather Brockner and who is that, Dean Reynolds, with Brian Rubel trying to regain those spots. Brewer there, oh no, Puckett gets into Brockner and sends him up and around. That's going to be our something about a 3rd caution or something like that on the evening. Let's go back on replay and see what happened there. Coming off of 4. Looks like some contact. Couldn't tell if it was between... It may have been between Reynolds. Yeah, it was between Reynolds, and then Puckett just had nowhere to go. And regardless of who caused what, Brockner up on his lid. It has been a common theme here this evening between many a driver. As we are closing in on the halfway point. Brady Cornette in a familiar spot back to P1. Freeman, who did lead all those laps to start the event, gonna be back to 4th as he gives a little shot in the back there to Rayome, or so it appears. So it does appear that caution laps, I don't know why they counted in the heats, but they didn't count here because it hasn't worked like that all season, but it appears that that is what's happening. So our caution laps still are not counting as they are expected to, but they are counting, yeah, words, English. Either way, that situation is as we expect, but still on his side, he finally pulls off there, is Brockner. That would have delayed the green. But luckily he is now off the racetrack and towing, and let's get the race back underway. On the loud pedal is Cornet, with Trapper back to the inside with a power move there to the inside through the slick. Couldn't really pull off a slider, but he still got a good bite off a 2 there. He's going to stay door to door all the way in the bottom there in the moist stuff, all the way to the inside wall. Now back to the wall to wall. Here is the line at I-55 with Rayom there in third, Freeman back to fourth. Now Cornet's going to run that middle lane, give the top of the track to Trapper, but didn't really get a momentum boost from that, as you would expect. And under caution once more. Trying to figure out where it came from. Again, sometimes on the dirt tracks, as many of you guys may know, the caution comes out very, very easily. So it's not always easy to figure out the cause of a caution. In this case, it was not very obvious. So I'm not going to go waste everyone's time and search for it, because it's just I don't know, it wasn't that big. There was no nobody came to a stop, nobody. It just kind of seemed like someone was just too sideways. So either way, small caution, and we are already on 1 lap to go, so not much of a hindrance of that yellow. And Cornet still taking that inside lane. We'll see what Trapper can do if he can maintain momentum on the outside. We have Rayom in third, Freeman in fourth. Coming through turn number 3, pace truck's already off. On the loud pedal are our leaders here, and you can see how good of a run Trapper got off the get-go there, and he takes it right to the bottom of the track. But looks like that wall line is kind of OP at the moment, or so it seems. Coming through 3 and 4 under caution again. That time we seem to know where it is. Carner is in the pits now, and he was not in the pits before, so circumstances would tell us that something happened with him. And replay on screen, you can see right off the restart there, he put himself in the wall on the straightaway, self-induced. Probably not something he's proud of or wanted us to see, but sorry buddy, we saw it. So we will try that one more time. I'm telling you, you puck it up to 6th, so I don't know if he has the speed to win this race, but he definitely has the cheerleaders for it. So again, Master Millwright being a sponsor of tonight's race as well. Of course, sponsoring the league, but also sponsoring today's individual race. So double shout out to him. But green flag back in the air on the loud pedal very early in the zone is Cornet. But again, Trapper trying to figure out something here, center off, and he's gonna actually have something for him here. But all the way to the bottom of the track, blocking the line, is Brady here. Kind of has that line blocking game on point. Coming off a 2 here, we're gonna have Brockner here to slow us down and see if he gets in the way. But big dive to the bottom here. Trapper going to the top, and Freeman trying to get that 3rd spot back. Did get it back from Rayom there, so he's trying to get his rhythm back. And big comeback from Rubel, who's getting himself back in the top 5, trying to pass Puckett there. Puckett trying to see if he can maintain using the outside lane, and I think he's going to be able to do that. But Rubel looks like he might have found something there all the way to the bottom of the track, so that's a good battle going on. Up front, haven't missed anything. Battle is not really existed for the lead. Looks like Rayom trying to dig back on the bottom of Freeman here, as the leaders are going to get by Brockner. Brockner is going to give them the top of the track, which I think is where they want to be. And Trapper is just trying to kind of run wherever he can go at the moment, and trying to make something happen here. It looks like the middle is where they're running. Puckett up to 5th right now. Rubel hasn't managed to get by, but still battling for that 3rd spot. Rayom to the bottom, Freeman to the top. Here they're going to come right into the middle of Brockner. They're going to have to figure out what to do here. Rayom going to kind of lose the momentum there with Brockner to the inside as the caution will wave once more. And yep, I think I don't know where it was, but Puckett showed up in red on my screen here for a second, guys. So chat's gonna go off. Chat is going to go off. Get the fire extinguishers ready. Ryan Rubel on the back straightaway. And chat, I'll let you figure out what happened there. So that is the cause of caution. And he was running in the 5th position at the time. Unfortunately for him, we will no longer be in such position, as we are within 10 laps to go at the moment. And Cornette will have another opportunity where he has to hang on to a restart here. Trapper is really good on the restarts, but it just seems like Cornette has something once we kind of get rolling. So we are now on 1 lap to go. Coming through 1 and 2. Looks like we are going to be having a single file restart for this, but hopefully is the last restart, but very well may not be. We'll see how things shake out. Coming through 3 and 4. Let's see when Cornette goes. Is Trapper going to be ready for it? Trapper is going to be ready for it. Tried to run a lower line there and set himself up, but they're going to have to go ring the top of the track. Slight wall contact there from Cornette. Didn't really have any negative influence from it, but we'll see what happens. He's kind of running right in the slick there. Much of a surprise to me. Still hanging on to the lead by about a half second, so we'll kind of loosely follow that battle because it's not really existing at the moment. Freeman trying to hang on to the podium as Rayom digging on the bottom of the racetrack. Trying to dig for that spot. Almost a little bit of contact. There goes Brewer in the mix. He's going to sail it on the top of Rayom. A little bit of contact with Brewer to the outside wall. So it looks like that bottom line is just murdered at the moment. You got to be ringing around the top or even in the middle, but that bottom line just not enough banking. The momentum is not there to maintain, but Freeman doing a hell of a job keeping himself in that 3rd spot, in that podium spot. But can Brewer, who's usually one of the bottom feeders, can he rock the cushion? Can he rock the wall line? Couldn't rock it that time because Freeman was in the way up front. Trapper now about a half second back, so not too much of a battle for the win, as we're going to have another caution. And my immediate data says it may or may not have stemmed from the 1 car, so replay will confirm. Let's show you guys at home. Gonna Rubel here. Overdrove the entry of 1 and wall ride, and at least he stuck the landing though, so give him points on that. But this will put us into, I think we'll stay in regulation here. So we should take the green at lap number 33, I believe. So we'll still stay within regulation. Trapper just doesn't seem to have it. Looks like Cornette just has a little bit something extra in the tank, but we'll see what happens. Freeman was having a hell of a time there trying to hang on to that 3rd spot. As now Brewer is in 4th, Rayom back to 5th. So we'll see what happens here. It'll be all up to who fires off on the restart, who gets the wheel spin, who gets too much yaw. Does anybody hit the wall? Let's see what happens here. Back on the accelerator, green flag back in the air. You can see very early start here from all these guys as we come down for 3 laps to go. All the way to the top of the track is your race leader of Brady Cornette. Now Trapper is trying to figure out something. He's going to go top and try to get that momentum here, coming to 2 laps to go. Remember, if we get to the white, the caution will no longer wave, but we have to get to the white for that to happen. And I'll tell you, Trapper is definitely doing something right this time by. He's kind of figured out something. He's getting a really strong run on exit here, but he's only going to have one more lap, a third of a mile left to go. He's right there on the rear Nerf bar. He's in Send It Ray. Just Cornette's going to try to run the bottom and block the sliding line, but he hit the inside wall trying to run the bottom, and Trapper's going to not be able to get there. Cornette hangs on. I'll tell you, Trapper, if he didn't hit that inside wall, may have had a drag race to the line, but good run by Cornette as everyone is kind of doing their celebratory and retaliatory, angry, happy flips, whatever you want to call it. But great bit of driving by everyone, and Brady Cornette getting his first win, and what I'm sure for him felt like forever here. So let's go back and give you our final results here today from I-55 Speedway. Race win tonight for the first time in a couple months goes to Brady Cornette, with Bobby Trapper getting the second. We have Jason Freeman in third, Mike Brewer with the fourth, Scott Rayom in fifth, Kyle Orchinski in sixth, Jeff Kendrick in seventh, Travis Brockner in eighth, Bobby Puckett and Carter Rochinski rounding out our top 10. And of course, the finishing results will conclude with Brian Rubel in 11th, Duante Carner in 12th, Dean Reynolds in 13th, and Eric Bonham in 14th. So let's go and waste no time and get our post-race show up and underway here. And we'll start with our race winner here. We got Brady Cornette. It's been a while, Brady. It's been since October, surprisingly, since you put one of these things in victory lane. And Trapper was really trying on that last restart to make something happen and wasn't able to. But you end up pulling it off and getting it back in victory circle, man. Talk about your night.
Yes, sir. We qualified second to Brewer, and then we just had a caution fest in our heat race. Didn't really get the race any. We settled for third and started the feature in seventh and just rode it out and got the lead by lap 15 and just played the restarts different every time. I knew Trapper, he's good on restarts, and so we just played the restarts different. And once we got out front, we just set sail and was able to hold on to it.
Yes, talk about how the track progressed, man. Usually we kind of see one line go and then the bottom goes, or vice versa. Today, it seemed that the bottom never really came in, but you guys could still kind of run through the middle, through the slick pretty well. Where was your favorite place to run, and were you surprised how the track progressed at all?
Yeah, usually at I-55, it usually starts off at the top, or starts off at the bottom, then when it slicks off, it goes to the top, and then somehow the rubber lays back down to the bottom, which it got slick there right at the end, which I figured it was going to go right back to the bottom both ends, and it never did. But I've got a bunch of laps around I-55. I knew it would be top 1 and 2, and right through the slick in 3 and 4. I don't know why the top just don't come in 3 and 4, but it doesn't really ever do. So I just knew as long as you could keep your wheels from spinning and roll the bottom in 3 and 4, you'd be good.
Yeah, that was definitely the case, Ben. You put it in victory lane for the, 4th time this season. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
Yes, sir. I just got to thank Zach Weisenflue. He wasn't able to make it, but I saw in the YouTube chat he was putting it down. He definitely helps me out a lot. Got to thank Blackjack Racing. Tremendous help to my sim program. Got to give a shout out to my friend 360. Just got to thank all my marketing partners on my rail car, JNC Auto Care, CMP Automotive, Dyrampa Realty, Freeman Plumbing, Capital Custom Paint, Summit Road Auto, God almighty. Circle of Friends Daycare, B&B Race Engine, Lamar Hunt. Just gotta thank everybody that helps me. Gotta thank you for putting the broadcast on, Jason Freeman, Rubel for putting the lead on, and just everybody that comes out and supports this lead.
Sounds good, man. Congrats again. 2 more. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, sir.
And now we got second place here, Bobby Trapper. You made a fight of it at the end, man. It looks like you may have had a drag race with him, but you tapped that inside wall and just looked like Brady just had a little bit too much on you today. Talk about your race, man.
Yeah, I think definitely unfortunate. Got an inch or two too low in that last corner there. I think it might have been a little more interesting. Just Yeah, good race. I mean, a lot of cautions, not really much of an opportunity to get some green flag laps and really contend much there. Brady was definitely good on his restarts, and not a lot of laps around here, not a lot of experience, and wasn't really sure which lane was going to be the fast one, so I was trying to sort of stick with Brady at the end. I figured try some lines where he wasn't, and I think I had a little bit of success there in that last restart, but just not enough laps to really play it out. Definitely a good race by him.
Yeah, so I know I was talking about you. Now you said you like the bull rings versus the speedways. This kind of combines the two of them. So overall, I said, you said you're kind of new to the track, but does it kind of fit your style, or do you kind of put it more in the speedway sense where it kind of races like a faster track?
Yeah, it's an interesting combo. It's such a high bank, small track. It is much more momentum than a typical bull ring track, but it is still a bull ring, and it's definitely a fun track. I think if we were able to get some green flag laps there, we could put on a good show.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens next week as we take the walls down and we head to Lernersville, so that'll be a fun change of pace, man. Any shout-outs you want to give?
Just got to thank TNR and everyone that puts it on here, and you guys for broadcasting the race, and look forward to next week.
All right, sounds good, man. We'll talk to you.
Thank you.
And then final on the podium here today, who's hopefully is feeling a little bit better, because I know you missed last week, Ben, but you have put on a good show, led some laps, and had a really good battle there with Rayom and Brewer there trying to hang on to that podium spot, which you did. Talk about your night.
Yeah, it was up and down. So I think this is only the second time I've ever raced here, actually, so I didn't really know the lines or where to run. Zach sent me some messages before the race started, tried to give me some tips, and I looked like a squirrel in my heat race, and just started up front there in the feature, fourth, I think, and got the lead there. And Brady came along, and once he got along, I tried to follow his line. I seen he was running like top 1 and 2 and kind of middle 3 and 4, and wasn't really sure, but tried to run that, and him and Chopper, obviously the two class of the field, and just tried to follow them and see what they were doing.
It worked. It seemed like you figured it out as the race progressed, but obviously you already lost the position at that point. But we got 2 more races this season, man, and then you got chat on your side. There's always people asking, hoping for you to have good runs, and we head to Lernersville, and of course wrapping it up at Charlotte. Which one of those places do you kind of have circled more than the other?
Well, unfortunately, I had circled Williams Grove last week, my favorite track, my best track on here, but I was a bit under the weather and still not back to full strength there. But I'd say out of those 2, though, if I had to pick one, probably Charlotte. All
right, so we'll see what you can do next week at Lernersville, and pay more attention to you at Charlotte. See if you can put it in victory circle for chat before the season comes to an end. Any shout outs you want to give though?
Yeah, thanks you guys up in the booth. Check out Mason Dixon Corner on Facebook. It's my car sponsor, my little side gig. Thank you to TNR for putting the league on, all the guys that help with this, and everyone in the chat always rooting me on.
All right, sounds good, man. We'll talk to you. All right, so that is our podium. That is our show here, and just want to thank everyone for tuning in to the broadcast and having some active chat here today. Always like to see that. If you haven't liked, subscribe again, hit that subscribe button for us. Helps out immensely with the channel here, and we'll see you on Thursday for the Red Sox Racing League at Brands Hatch as we conclude their season here heading into the beginning of 2023. But that's Corey Silva signing out of the booth. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.